The people here in this community were geared up for a great year. People had bought more inventory than they had before. They were putting on more staff than they had before. You remember, we were just coming off of 2 years of economic crisis, and we saw rebuilding. We look at the real estate business, and you could track sales were beginning to pick up. Every indication was that we were in great shape.
There are a lot of challenges to living on the coast, but I'm not too sure any of us were ever prepared for what happened in the Deepwater Horizon. All of a sudden, we started facing something that we had never seen before.
Right now, a lot of places, they're not trust our seafood. With the oil crisis, basically it's put us out of jobs.
Once that oil spill happened, we started seeing where we were having 20 or 30 cancellations, sometimes in a day, for the coming months. I've lost everything of my own, and the only thing that I have left is this business.
We filed with the Secretary of State to close our company. We've had to let go 7 employees, good folks with families. It's a dream I had. I don't know how it's going to turn out.
Somewhere between 30 and 50% of the people that normally come here didn't come.
We shut down, we lose 30 to 40 employees for our shop. And then, most of these other shops, they're in the same situation as us.
In this industry, the spill has had a negative impact from the standpoint of restricting the harvest and therefore the flow of product through all the various sectors of the industry, all the way from harvesting through processing and distribution, and then ultimately at the restaurant level. This was yet another thing that I think psychologically affected people and began to take a heavier toll than any of us anticipated.
I spent 23 years in the Army, and I've been around the world, and I've seen people suffer, and I didn't really realize it was hard to see it here in America.
When I sat in rooms with people, crowds of people who were trying to find out information, to sit in the room with them, people who've been here for generations, and watch the reality set in that their way of life was changing forever and that they wouldn't be able possibly to continue doing what they were doing was a very emotional time for all of us.
When we started setting up the business sports centers both in Gulf Shores and particularly down here in Bayou Battery, we realized early on we had to have mental health partners in this as well to help not only our clients but to help the counselors, the people that were on the ground trying to help the folks that had the problems.
We have reasonable certainty that the system could recover, but had no idea about how to answer questions relative to how long would it take, how significant would any changes be. And frankly, we still don't know the answers to all those questions.
If you look at what's going on with the seafood industry and what's going on with the shrimpers and the sport fishermen, once they closed it down, closed the processing down, it had impacts all the way across Alabama. If you look at the tourism industry, fully a third of the total impact of all of our tourist industry is affected by those 2 counties.
Here in Montgomery, we realized that 21% of the money that we get in Montgomery, as far as taxes are concerned, comes from those 2 counties, from Baldwin County and Mobile County.
Too many of us took the Gulf of Mexico for granted. It defines us. It defines this region, which is why all of us, instead of being separate communities and separate leaders, have to come together regionally in ways we probably didn't appreciate before.
The ability to bounce back and that time frame of how long it takes you to bounce back is crucial. And so whether it's some of our building codes, whether it's the transportation systems, whether it's just collaboration between institutions, there will be some great things that come out of this.
We went into this effort knowing that we had to get as many people involved as we possibly could. Started out with 84 people on the commission. They eventually reached out to the various committees to get hundreds of people involved. And then we had to go to the public. We had to hear from the public. Well, over 700 people attended the public meetings. And I think when you bring it all together, it helps all of us understand that had we not done this, had we had not reached out to try to get as many ideas and as much an understanding of this oil spill and the impact, I don't think we could ever be at this point we're at today. While it's not part of our mandate, it's extremely important to point out that before we can do anything else, we've got to make sure the claims process is working properly. Now, a lot of work's been done in that area, there's no doubt about that. But we got to stay focused on making sure people are made whole, which is a promise that's been made to those folks.
I had an idea of what this CRC could do. I had no idea that they were going to come up with a product like I have been privileged to look at from time to time. They have taken this to a different level.
Several important themes have emerged out of this report. I don't think any is more important than our first one, which is to develop a regional leadership group focused on developing a long-term strategic plan for coastal Alabama. The Coastal Recovery Commission report will serve as the basis for that plan. Another key theme that came out of this effort is that we've got to put things in place that allow the leaders of our state to work with the other states to make sure we're all focused on the Gulf of Mexico and the health of the Gulf of Mexico. So we're actually recommending the creation of a seafood promotion and marketing board. It will be focused on not only marketing our seafood is safe, but making sure that it's safe.
We really do have a unique opportunity to take the Gulf, make the Gulf a destination, an identifier for products and services in a way that it captures the public imagination, maybe worldwide, to make it something much greater than it was before the spill.
The Recovery Commission has provided the leadership and set the framework and the blueprint, and then our challenge is to take this report, to take the recommendations and the hard work and make it happen.
What we need is for the plan to be taken seriously, for people to review it, to validate it, and to implement. Plan your work, work your plan, and you'll be resilient.
I think it's imperative to the people of the coast that they stay on the new governor to say, hey, we put all this work into this thing. Now this is the direction we want to go, and we want you to be the leader to lead us down to this path.
Now you at least have a roadmap. You have a benchmark on where you can start, and you know this is where we are, this is where we want to go, and here's a blueprint to get there. That's invaluable.
When you bring people together, bring good minds together, there are a lot of good ideas. And these ideas, I know, will be incorporated in this report. And I'm looking forward to seeing these ideas and looking to see how we can move this area forward. And that's what I'm going to do as governor.
From day one, we knew, and we said it repeatedly, this is the beginning of an important conversation. Now what do? We take this report and we use it as an agenda. We keep the momentum going. We work hard, harder than we probably worked in our lives, to make sure that we transform coastal Alabama in ways we never appreciated that we could. And we leave coastal Alabama in a place that is better than it was before the oil spill. That's the commitment we've got to give.